Let's talk about the big night at the Georgia Dome with Hogan. Hulk tells a great story on the documentary about it was the right time for you to beat him. I remember that night. I mean, it was packed. There was 40,000 people there, and they were all going nuts. It's probably the peak of the Goldberg mania. Talk about that night for you. How early did you know that this was going to happen, and kind of go walk through that with us?
J.J. Dillon, Thursday Night Thunder, announced it. That's when I knew. That's when I knew, right? So I don't know who else knew. I guess everyone else, I don't know. But I found out when the general public found out. I was terrified. Not too many people remember I had to wrestle Scott Hall earlier that night, and that was a debacle in and of itself. But 2 times in one night, and I got to go out in front of my friends, my family, my peers, my teammates, twice, let alone once. And then I go into Hogan, and there's really no match planned out. It's just like, I'm going to follow you. And it's like, oh shit. I've never been in this situation before. And then, Scott Hall, I mess up a spot during the match, and I drop him with a clothesline, and he's laying down going, man, you don't want to work with me? What are you doing? And I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. There's nothing that I can do in here intentionally to derail the match. That would be the kiss of absolute death. That'd be like pulling your pants down in front of national television. So, it was different, but I got to say again, it was, and not to put the wrestling business down by any stretch of the imagination, but it was the coolest night of my sports career, because the guys that I had idolized and the guys that I bled with and fought with and cried with and sweat with, on the football field on the Falcons, were the ones that ended up, when we went off of television, they saved me from the NWO. And as well as anybody does, the how we are revered to professional athletes. And as I was handcuffed to the turnbuckle, I'm sitting on my ass watching my former teammates, all pros. Guys that have been in the league for 5 to 10 years, whether it was Jesse Tuggle or Cornelius Bennett or Chuck Smith or whoever it was, man, they were like kids in a candy store. Remember how Kevin Green was every time he was able to go out there and perform?
Loved it. Yeah.
It was the same way with all these guys, man. And for me, it was, I don't want to say poetic justice, but it was a dream, man. It was a dream to be in a situation to where the people that I had idolized for 1 second wanted to be in my shoes. And so,
yeah, like you said, they wanted to be you that night.
Yeah, I just sat back and took it all in, and I was smiling, and I'll never forget it.
So were you impressed with how Hulk was able to lead you through the match?
It's Hulk Hogan, man.
Yeah,
man, it's Hulk Hogan. Doesn't need to be anything said. No question. I was honored and privileged to even shake his hand, let alone share the ring with him, and let alone go over on him, and let alone have him think that I was the guy, to do it. And there is a lot that goes into that decision, as you know. Sure. A person in Hogan's situation, it just shows what a businessman he is and how selfless he can be. And I think we all need a little bit of that, more of that in the business.
Absolutely. Yeah, Hulk sometimes has a reputation for being selfish, but I didn't see it that way. He was a businessman. And like you said, you were a guy that he could build, and then suddenly he has another opponent to work with, right?
Absolutely.